I feel to tell all of you that you are already free in this moment. And this, when I say like this, it is not something, which your father will say to encourage their kids. It's not something which is like a hopeful statement. This is a statement of complete truth. And it does not require your belief. I do not need you to believe it. But if you can stay with me and just see this, just check this, you will see that it is completely true that I am completely free in this moment. And what does freedom mean? What does freedom mean? Because as awareness, you are completely untouched even by this concept of delusion and bondage, of bondage and freedom. As awareness, it does not matter if you were to take 100 more lives and each of those lives to be identified as a person. Because as awareness, you are completely untouched. Then what is the freedom that we are talking about? The freedom that we are talking about is just this freedom of the drop pretending to be separate from the ocean and then just checking and seeing that it is the ocean itself. So it's all a question of beliefs, all a question of mental concepts. Somehow, through some trick of Maya or whatever you call it, we have this power to pretend that we are separate. This is called the ego, the belief that I am separate. Yet, if I were to ask all of you and say, where is God? You will say, God is everywhere. Then, if God is everywhere, then how can there be a separate you? So, what you're really saying is, God is everywhere but me. Everything that I see is God, but I am not. See? And we were discussing yesterday that this sounds like humility, that I am not God yet and God is, I'm trying to find God, but it is the greatest arrogance that God can be everywhere, but I have this power to be separate from God. See, so this is ego. And how does the ego operate? It operates through resistance. It is only a resistance of what is. See, it tries to control what is appearing. All these appearances are just coming and going. It tries to convince you that there is some sense of control that you as a separate identity have over this appearance. This is a great fallacy. And like this, most of humanity is trying to control their life, control where we are going. And I often say this is like trying to control the flow of a river with a twig. But not even this twig we have, with an imaginary twig actually. This is exactly how it is. We are resisting life, we are just pretending as if there is something that I can do. So, what is this freedom that we speak of? This freedom that we speak of is to drop this imaginary resistance. And actually, I've been saying this for quite some time, but I feel like now something is clicking with many of you. And you are starting to realize what is the meaning when I say don't resist. What is the meaning when I say be completely open? Now it is starting to click for you. And what is the meaning of being completely open? Is being open to all that is appearing and disappearing. exerting no sense of false control over anything at all. So in this way, we leave the body completely free. It already is actually, it is doing exactly what it wants. But we are just pretending that I am moving my hand up and down, I am breathing. Some may even pretend that I am beating my heart. All of it is happening on its own. We are just the pure witnessing of all of this movement of appearance. So when I say it is imagined resistance, it is this. When it comes to the body, it is this sense of doership. What must I do next? Where should I go next? All of these things are just the pretense problems that we like to deal with. So leave your body completely free to be exactly how it is. And the breath also, you leave it completely free. Leave it completely free. And the other area of trouble, which many of you have, is you try to control your thoughts. Because you hear that thoughts are the cause of trouble. See? So then the mind itself comes up with a solution. Okay, if thoughts are the cause of trouble, let me try to stop all thoughts from coming. Then you find all the yogis sitting in the caves doing all kinds of sadhana to prevent this flow of thoughts. But actually, you have seen now, most of you have been in satsang for some time, and you see that it's actually not trouble. Thoughts are allowed to just come and go, and then there are no trouble. But it is only through our belief in them. When we buy what they are selling, then it seems to create this imagined resistance. So be completely open, don't resist any thought. It will scare you that I'm very scary, I'm very horrendous. Sometimes some of us are scared of beautiful thoughts also. Beautiful thoughts also because I don't want to think that because it might become a desire. Nothing can happen like this without your belief. So let all thoughts come, let all thoughts go. Then, what are the other forces you have in your command? What are the other forces you have in your command? Very few people in the world look at this actually. We seem to have the force of attention and the force of belief. And attention is very troublesome. The more you try to control it, the more it wants to jump around here and there. So freedom again is not a constricted state where you are trying to control your attention and keep it at a particular point. Although many spiritual practices prescribe this, and it's okay. It's okay. It's a path, and if you're fully into that particular path, that's okay. But my submission to all of you is much more simple. Let this attention also completely go free. Let it go wherever it wants. Don't try to exert any sense of control over even attention. Now everything is set free, body is set free, breath is set free, thoughts are set free, even emotions are set free, and also attention is set free. And now you remember that there was one thing which was left, which was belief. And belief, what does it mean to set it free? That we don't take any effort. We don't make any effort. And to give meaning to something, to give belief to something, is some effort, is a doing, is a seeming doing, but still it's a seeming doing. So don't do this also. Don't give belief to anything also. What is belief? Belief is the power to pretend. The truth does not need belief, you see. But the false needs constant reinforcement through this belief. So to believe that you are a person, you have to work hard practically the entire waking state and consume the content of your thoughts with your belief. Without this, the person idea cannot survive for too long. Drop belief also. This is the way of the sage. A simple way. Also, I want to tell you that the sage has no intentions. There are no intentions. Everything is just appearing spontaneously. The game can be played, there can be some pretend planning, all of that can go on. But there is no intention and there is no attachment to any outcome. In this way, everything that you seemingly pretended to pick up is dropped. And then naturally, in this simple surrender, just to see that I never was separate, I never was person, you see that everything has been flowing on its own. And in this way, you will then experience the presence of unassociated being. You'll experience pure love, pure joy, pure peace, without any desire for any of them. So I can honestly say that it is these energies that come to be in your presence, not the other way around. We are not meant to chase them. These energies are in service to your own unassociated being. So very simple like this. Don't resist anything at all. Drop all effort. And don't believe this thought which says, oh, dropping of effort is seeming like effort to me. No, that's just a mind trick. Yes, I know it can seem initially because the habit is to pick up. The habit is to pick up and do all this heavy lifting. So initially when I say to keep down your heavy bags, it seems like, oh, it takes so much effort. I'm just comfortable carrying this heavy load on my head. Why do you say keep it down? It can seem like that is effort, but it's not really. And it can seem a little uncomfortable because you lost this seeming mischievous teacher which is inside your head. Because always saying, do this next, do this, you'll be happy, go there, go here. And to be without this voice or with this voice having no power, it seems a little bit of a limbo state initially. I know this. But if you can just hold my hand during this time, and I'm telling you that you are just learning to fly, you are not falling, you are learning to fly. Then you will find that this is the most natural, most effortless state. And even this thought very quickly will be dissolved that it is the dropping of effort seems like effort. It's like saying that you go to work every day and I come and tell you, no, actually today is Sunday. Don't have to go to work. And then the mind will come and say, but I'm used to going to work, so it's seeming like effort not to go to work on the Sunday. It's just like this, nothing more than this. Then what trouble can you have? It is only resistance which is trouble. So this is openness, this is freedom. And I promise you that you will not say that there is something missing in this. You will only say that I have lost my ability to suffer now. What have you done to me? I have lost my ability to suffer. Because it will seem like so much hard work to suffer with anything. And if somebody comes to you and says, I will give you $1 million, but you come back to how you were, it will sound like the stupidest deal possible. And if somebody says, I will give you the best partner, best partner, but you become a person again, it will sound like the stupidest deal possible. Somebody says, I will give you the body which is in the best shape, best. You can then run 10 miles without stopping. You will say that sounds like the stupidest deal possible.